loving pranams at Bhagawan's lotus feet. In a beautiful discourse that Swami gave in the year 1966, Swami speaks of the journey of the soul to the Paramatma or the Oversoul as a 4-stage process. The first stage in that, Swami says, is Salokyam, that is, living in the same plane of existence as the Lord or the Loka as the Lord. It is akin to stepping into a kingdom where the Supreme Lord is the monarch. In this stage, the devotee begins to experience the Lord, begins to be introduced to His miracles and powers, and the awe of living in His presence.
Swami was coming to Bombay.
Oh, okay.
And staying with the Savant, P.K. Savant, who was then the minister and also trustee of Shirdi Sansthan. And he got devoted to Swami and he accepted that Swami is Shirdi Baba's, So the meeting was fixed in Shanmukhanand Hall. And these friends of mine who were Swami's devotees, they used to come to Prasanthi, Nilayam and all that. So they telephoned to me, Bridge Auntie, we have tried to get passes from Mr. Savant, but there are no passes available. Now you must get us these passes. So my husband came back from the office and I said, please get me 10 passes from Mr. Savant. So he said, sit in the car and we'll go just now and you try. So when we arrived at Savant's house, he said, Mrs. Ratanlal, what are you talking? I cannot give you 10 passes, I said, these 6 people are Swami's devotees. You can't deprive them of, and we are 4 people, my husband, myself, and my husband had a niece who was born blind. So I thought we will take her and my sister-in-law. So with half an hour's persuasion, he got so fed up with me, that he gave us 10 passes. So we came home. On the 6th of June, my office was very near P.K. Savant's place. And while I was going after lunch, I saw a little crowd sitting in Sahyadri lawn, not in Savant's lawn, because he didn't have a big lawn. So I went to my office. I brought 4 buckets of water with ice, lemon squash, orange squash, and started serving them. In the meantime, the crowd became little more. So this went on till 9 o'clock at night. So Sahyadri used to be the chief minister's residence. So all those staff knew me very well, And some or the other, we opened the doors and we sat on the ground. Ladies one side, men on one side, and we went on. So these friends of mine, I was a very bad patient of ulcers. I hadn't had anything. They said, you come with us. We are just across the road and you have little cold milk and we'll come back. By the time we came back, Swami had already entered. Now, not knowing Swami's ways, myself, Princess of Kutch, and her brother sat opposite on Ridge Road. Suddenly, I said, how can we go? We have been whole day long waiting. Swami has to give darshan. 9:30 to 11:30, I have a loud voice and I was a good singer at that time. And I'm singing one bhajan after the other, going on singing. Suddenly at 11:30, in the balcony, it was a pitch dark. You couldn't see Swami. So Swami stood on the balcony and spoke in English. It is very late. Go home, come back at 7 o'clock in the morning. And while he was talking, a big disc, golden disc, bigger than the sun, hit me on the chest. And I was singing at that time, Narayan, Narayan. And I shouted, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan.
That rotating disc from Sai Narayana entered the heart of Mrs. Ratnalal, and from that moment, Swami became the heart of her existence. When you look at the stories of the lives of so many devotees, it is really so magnificent and mind-boggling the way Swami has created and crafted a unique gateway into the heart of every devotee. It's like Swami has a very, very special way of reaching out to everyone, and everyone's story is special. It is like every leaf, every star in the creation is unique. The story of how Bhagawan enters the heart of every devotee in the stage of Salokyam is unique.
My father was a very well-known dentist. I had a teacher called Mary Grant. And she knew my father was quite well-known. And suddenly one day in the class, she asked me, Geeta, I want to see your father. I'm getting some toothache. So can you please ask your father when I can come to see him? My father says any day in the afternoon, you bring her with you. She may not know where this place is. So she accompanied me. I also came with her to my father's practice. And we were waiting for a few minutes while my father finished seeing a patient. And while she was waiting in the waiting room, my father had a Swami's picture. And she just looked and she said, who is this? Is this a relative? She asked. So I said, no, he's God. And I was just a small girl. So she just looked at her, and she was a Christian lady, Mary Grant. She said, oh, okay. And she didn't say anything. Very, very nice teacher. Then my father came and he treated her. I was sitting outside. And then when she came out, she suddenly turned to my father. So she asked my father that my husband has been quite sick. And they are saying that it may be tuberculosis. Do you know of any good doctor that I can? So my father said, yes, I know some doctors. I can talk to them and maybe you can go and meet them. He was just talking, having treated her, he was talking. I was just standing there listening to this conversation, and I told her, I told you that he is God, you know. Why don't you give your husband some vibhuti? I said. She didn't understand. She said, what are you saying, my dear? She said. So I said, Daddy, give her some vibhuti, you know. Because Swami, we have got so much of vibhuti that Swami has given. If she gives vibhuti, her husband will be all right. I said like that. So he said, no, you please don't unnecessarily talk. Be quiet, my father said. So, but the teacher was very nice. What are you saying? I don't understand. So I said, I told you he's God. He has given vibhuti. You give your husband, he will get better. So I was insisting. So she felt very bad. So she told my father, why don't you give me? She didn't want to make me feel bad. So my father reluctantly, I think, took out 2 packets of vibhuti which he had in his wallet and he gave it to her. He said, I'm so sorry. She's too talkative, as you know, and she says things like that. And I kept telling her, don't forget to give your husband, you know, he will get better. When I get sick, my mother gives me. I get better. I told all this and she went off. And then some weeks went by and my father had given her some name to go and see a doctor. She didn't get an appointment for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, she saw the doctor and then suddenly she called me in the class and she said, your father has asked me to come for a follow-up. I'd like to come again day after tomorrow. Please find out. Again, same story. She came with me from the school at 3:30 in the afternoon. She came and my father treated her and then she said, doctor, I don't know, I have to tell you something. I don't know what it is that you gave me. I didn't get an appointment for 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks when I went, because Geeta would ask me every day in the school, did you give your husband the vibhuti in the class? Because of her, I thought, what harm can you get by giving it? This child is so sincere. So every day I was giving him. After 2 weeks, I got the appointment with the doctor. And when they took the x-ray, there is no trace of any tuberculosis or anything. I have not given him anything other than this vibhuti. Who is this man? She asked. So my father explained who he is and how we believe in him. So she was very sort of taken aback. She said, can Christians also come to see him? My father said, anyone can come to him, you're well. So she said, can you take me, doctor, sometime? And my father said, sure, if you're interested, I will take you. He's in Vrindavan. We go on. At that time, my father was working. We were only going on Sundays, weekends. I was very excited. I told you, Mrs. Grant, he's not sick. Whenever I'm sick, my mother gives me that something. Then on that particular Sunday, we went and we picked her up. But when we picked her up, there was another lady. She was going to be my 4th grade teacher. Her name was Mercy Wesley. She is my very, very close friend. And I told her what happened. She is also very curious to see who is this person. Can she come along? We said, okay. So that 2 teachers and myself in the back seat, my mother and father in the front seat, we drove to Vrindavan. Swami gave darshan and we were all waiting. They just saw Swami giving darshan and I don't think anything happened at that point. They just saw him. And when he went inside, they asked me, that is it? He is just going away? Yes, he is going away. That's all. So they were just sitting thinking, okay, it probably didn't seem like a big thing. Then my father came out running suddenly after 10 minutes after going in and said, Swami is calling you people inside. Would you like to talk to him? Swami is asking. So all of us went in and Swami was in the old bungalow sitting on the chair. And as soon as we came, he spoke to them in English and said, how are you, Mary? How are you, Mercy? He said like that, They were so taken aback. But then they thought my father must have told the name, Mercy Wesley and Mary Grant. How are you? And both of them are Catholic Christians, English. And they said, we are very well, sir. How are you? They said, I was giggling here. I had never seen anybody saying, how are you, sir, to Swami. And then Swami said to Mrs. Mary Grant, how is your husband? No tuberculosis, right? He asked. So again for her that doubt is there because my father may have told. She said, no, sir. They said, no, he doesn't have any tuberculosis. He will be fine in a couple of weeks. He will be healthy and strong. He was also a teacher. He will go back to work, he said. And then he turned to Miss Mercy Wesley, who had nothing to do anything. She just came because she was curious. He looked at her and said, how is Joseph? That none of us knew because we didn't even know this lady was going to come with us. So everybody is taken aback because she knows my father has not said anything. How is Joseph? And she said, he is very well, sir. How do you know Joseph? She said, I know Joseph is your brother in Kerala. And she said, yes, sir, he's in Kerala. And he said, yes, he's a pastor in the church, Swami said. And she said, yes, sir, he is. And suddenly Swami got up from the chair and he waved his hand and materialized 2 crosses. One cross was like a big brass cross, and he showed it to that Miss Wesley and he said, this is your father's cross. She said, Swami was holding it in his hand like this. It looks like it, sir, she said. And then Swami said, yes, your father had this cross. He used to tell Joseph, when you become a pastor like me, your father was also a pastor. When you become a pastor like me, I will give you my cross. To wear. Your father used to tell your brother, is it not? Swami said, yes, sir, but my father passed away when Joseph was still young and we could never find the cross. We never found it. We thought he lost it. Is this my father's? She asked. Yes. And Swami turns the cross and in the back that father's name and everything is there. Wesley something. He showed to all of us and he gave it to her and he said, you give it to Joseph. He's a very good pastor. He looks after his congregation very nicely. So nicely Swami was talking in English, which was for me also very surprising, So he gave her the cross. There was one more cross in his hand, silver one. And he said, you lost your grandmother's cross in the church when you were a small girl. He told. So this Mary Grant, I believe she used to wear her grandmother's cross. She lost it in the church when she was a kid. Now that lady was like almost in her late 50s. But she lost it when she was a 6-year or 7-year-old girl. So you also lost your cross, isn't it? And then he reverted to Telugu. Said, Naku anni telusu. He said like that. And they were like, what did he say? What did he say? And I am piping out. He's saying he knows everything.
भज साईश्वरं साईश्वरं सत्य साईश्वरं साईश्वरं भज साईश्वरं साईश्वरं सत्य साईश्वरं.
Once you cross the stage of Salokyam, you look at the Lord, the feeling of awe gives place to the feeling of yearning. You crave to be near the Lord. You crave to serve the Lord. In the kingdom where He is the monarch, you wish to be a servitor. You wish to be a minister. And that craving for dearness and nearness is the stage of Samipyam, where the devotee now not only is satisfied by being in the presence of the Lord, but wants to be closer and closer.
At the time of the visit of Bhagawan to Kodaikanal, he arranges Narayan Seva. And Mrs. Ratanlal was in charge of the kitchen at that time, getting all items ready for Narayan Seva. At one stage, they expected about 1,000 or so, or 2,000 at the most, between 1 and 2. Because Sai Sruti is cut off from the Kodaikanal town, far off. But surprisingly enough, many neighboring villages came over there, turned up there. Around 6,000 people attended Narayan Seva. Where is the stuff there? Stuff is over. All utensils are empty. And Mrs. Ratanlal called me in and said, Anil Kumar, please tell Swami, food is exhausted. Please tell Swami. That was my first year of stay with Swami, of being close to Swami. Well, I could take liberty and tell him, today I will not do it. Impossible. Because the first year of stay, later students tell me that it is a honeymoon period. Some mistakes are tolerated enough. So I went to Swami and said, Swami, Yemi. Aipoyindi Swami. Aipoyindi meaning finished. Food stuff is over. Aipoyindi Swami. Aipoyindi anakodu. Nobody should say that. You go there, he said. I immediately rushed to the kitchen. By that time, Mrs. Ratanlal came out of the room already. They closed the doors because the Swami would give green signal to wind up the show. But surprisingly enough, when she opened the door, all the utensils are full of food stuff with rice and sambar. I'm a direct witness to that miracle. I can go on like this for any length of time, for any number of days, because as I think of those beautiful golden days of togetherness with Swami. I think most of you also know that candy they make. On the simple stick there, they keep some candy, something like wool-like thing, and that they are sold by the village people for their daily livelihood. Nobody will buy them. And Swami suddenly stopped that car and called that village boy. Are how many are there? Swami, 50. Put it in the car. What is the price of each? He said some 50 paisa or so. Forget. He gave him 1,000 rupees. Returned back. And he started disputing those candies to all the boys. Because it's given by Swami, they were all eating happily. Watching boys eating, other devotees purchased candies all over Kodaikanal. And Swami said to me, Anil Kumar, these boys earn their livelihood through this meager income. They have got their aged parents at home who depend on their earnings. Because of my visit, they could earn some money. Therefore, they are happy. Since I purchased, everybody liked it. He said, Swami, your grace. He's concerned for those people, local people, poor people. I'm deeply touched.
This Samipyam stage is perhaps, in a way, the sweetest phase in the life of a devotee, because You get to be with the Lord. You're so near to the Lord. You feel you're so dear to Him. And the way Swami also becomes so human, so that you can feel one with Him. Swami takes a photograph with you. Swami dines with you. Swami jokes with you. Swami asks you to teach a bhajan. You feel, my God, I can lose everything in the world, but I cannot lose this proximity. If you see in the life of the avatars, what did Gopikas crave for? They wanted this proximity. What did the Vanaras want? They pined for this chance to be close to Rama. And when you look at the Sri Sathya Sai avatar too, there are so many beautiful souls who had the blessing of this closeness, this nearness. And when you listen to their stories, they really transport you into a world of divine rhapsody.
And in Hyderabad trip, Swami used to play each and every instrument, harmonium, tabla, manjiri, khanjiri. But I didn't see him playing flute. He used to make us sit there. Come on, baito, he used to say. Sit here. And then he used to play all this. And he used to sing. He used to sing. In his high-pitched voice, he used to sing. There he taught my mother, Madhava Murahara Madhura Manohara Giridhara Gopala.
Oh, wow.
Then he taught Chitta Chora Yashoda Ke Bal, Navanita Chora Gopal. And then he taught me Sai Satyapalana.
Oh.
It was his favorite music. It was composed by him and he taught me. Sai Satyapalana, Sai Satyapalana, Sai Satyapalana. Shirdi Puri Vasa Sai Sarvesha. Hey Shirdi Puri Vasa. Swami added. Swami said, don't sing. Shirdi Puri Vasa Sai Sarvesha. Also you should sing. Hey Shirdi Puri Vasa. Hey Parti Puri Vasa Sarvesha Satyapalana. Sai Satyapalana. I used to sing plainly, no? Only Satyapalana, Shirdi Puri Vasa, Sai Sarvesha. He said, no, you should sing. Say Shirdi Puri Vasa, He Parti Puri Vasa, Sarvesha, Satyapalana.
Sai Satyapalana,
See, once when I came, I remember maybe 96, I never remember dates well. Swami was suddenly the BMW red car came. Swami was going to go for sports. He said, get in. So it was sports practice. Got in. I was just moved. That was early days and Swami to take you in his car. I didn't know what to do. I was waiting for Swami to get in the car. The driver said, you get in first. Get in and sit down. Swami will come. I got in, sat. Swami came and turned around, looked at him at the back. I said, Swami, what bhagyam. I was done my last janma, Swami. He said, what janma? Janmam. My last janmam, I said. Janmas, he told me. So many janmas of serving Swami and bhakti for Swami. Swami, you have come here. Second thing also, when I was coming down from Trai after interview, Swami, I was just walking, I was the last person to walk, I was walking with Swami out. I said, Swami, ninga mukti kudukana Swami. Swami said softly, bhakti kudukren. I said, Swami, you didn't hear me properly. I would take all kinds of liberty. My mother, no, you don't. I used to tell him whatever I wanted. So I said, mukti sonne Swami. Bhakti kudutha, mukti pinnadiye varum. Bhakti kudukren. So then only you realize, bhakti is not your effort. Bhakti itself is His grace. In order to give you the greater and things of mukti, He gives you bhakti first. So bhakti itself is God's love. Bhakti is not your prayatana.
From the stage of Samipyam, the devotee now moves into a very interesting phase of Sarupyam. The devotion now makes the devotee mature into a stage where he or she starts reflecting the splendor and the love and the glory of the Lord, where he or she assumes the same form of the Lord. As Swami told the devotee, if you want mukti, seek bhakti, because it is through this love this maturing happens. And this stage is what is referred to as the third of the four-stage process, Sarupyam.
Talking about all these four stages of the journey of the soul to the oversoul, Swami says that when Ganga reaches the sea, when that happens, there is no turning back of the waters, isn't it? In the same way, when a devotee moves from the Salokyam stage to the Samipyam stage, it is like it has reached the sea. There's no more turning back. Once you have experienced that closeness, now you don't want to look back. You cannot look back. And slowly, then you move on to the stage of Sarupyam. It is like now you have become the son of the monarch. You acquire the qualities of the father, of the divine parent. So when we enter this stage, we become carriers of His love. And just like Jesus said, from the stage of I am the Son of God, He went to the stage where He said, I and my Father are one. And that is the journey of every devotee on this Aradhana day. Let us pray that as we march on this journey, as we experience the nearness of Bhagawan, we develop our love for Bhagawan to such an extent that we feel so close to Him that we don't even realize that we have crossed the stage of Samipyam and we are in that stage of Sarupyam where we don't feel any difference between Swami and ourselves. And when the right time comes, we become one with our beloved, the beautiful stage of Sayujyam.